Parental discretion is advised.
What's up, guys? This week on the Wrestling Mayhem Show, we discuss some weird stuff in wrestling. We talk about the Shield, we talk about the Ryback, have a little healthy debate, and the McGillicuddy by any other name is just as perfect. Stick around.
Hey guys, it's the Wrestling Mayhem Show. 370? 370? 370? I don't know, you're the one tweeting at WrestleFan. We're here in the Mayhem Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. I'm here, Sorgatron, in studio. With me as well, in studio, is Chachi, following friends of the well, not of the show, but of the Sorgatron media efforts.
Friend of the city.
Friend of the city, Bill Peduto, is running for mayor, and Chachi is not acknowledging anything because he's looking up the numbers.
Voting is important.
You're in Voter Central tonight.
It's important. You live in a democracy. People have died for your right to vote.
That's right.
So not voting is punching these people in the dicks.
Exactly. No pride. No pride in your democracy.
Hashtag
What?
Hashtag Greg Coley.
Hashtag Greg
Yes.
Coley. I don't know. Also with us, his last night with us before he leaves on his technological vacation is Papa Lunchbox.
That's true. What Sorg says is true. I'm going into the wilderness
There's
with hide in her hair of any kind of technology. No cell phones, no laptops, no iPads, no just my wits and a bunch of pens and books that I'll try to read.
Yes, we went over this a couple weeks ago on Awesome Cast. You can look back where we talked about this idea of him kind of just detaching. So, and I'm very interested to have you back on after that to see how you've survived and if you have a woolly mammoth beard.
I'm going to find Bigfoot,
will get you.
and I'm going to fuck him.
Also coming at us from Corpus Christi, Texas, where they fuck bears on a daily basis. Well, WrestleFan.
I don't know where you're getting your sources. Bears don't exist in Texas, Sorg. It's legend.
Desert bears.
Yes, it's the WrestleFan here.
Is there a bear on your
Tuesday
flag?
night. It's Wrestling Mayhem Show night, and I just want to say that I'm not from the Pittsburgh area, but I would vote for you, Bill Peduto, because your last name sounds like a Mexican dish. So,
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
And then for something a little different, we have the joining powers in one window of Bobby F. J-Town and The Riz. The Riz is not showing up entirely in video form, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on there.
Powers.
Why am I?
Yeah, you're coming and going.
What?
So from
I'm coming
Johnstown
and
and east of Pittsburgh, respectively. How you doing, guys?
That's how I.
Just call us the Mega Powers.
Sword. That's what I do.
That's what you do.
I come and go.
Okay. We'll see how
Yeah,
that
let
works.
that fun.
I don't know if it's going to last the entire show, but we'll see how this goes. Guys, it's the Wrestling Mayhem
If
Show.
we're missing by the end of the night, call the police.
It's the Wrestling Mayhem Show. You can come across all our stuff, all of our articles and stuff at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blip TV, Roku, and YouTube, in wherever fine video and podcasts are distributed. You can also drop us a line so we can hear from you at
good times.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Maybe we are getting a delay. 412-206-WMS0 to drop a line. You can also buy the app WMS Gold, Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold, on your Apple App Store and the Amazon App Store as well, in different flavors. You can get quick links to all that stuff we just talked about, and just your easy access to and gold bonus material, which we'll have a preview.
You can get the app in cinnamon flavored. You can get mint flavored. There's spearmint.
What?
There's
No?
You said there was different flavors.
Do not buy the app in mint flavor. You don't like it.
So let's get started with the show with the only way we know how, with the fan mails. We have several, yet one. And Papa Lunchbox is going to take us through these.
Yeah. All right.
There can
So
be
let's go on a fun adventure, shall we?
Huh.
It's the first one's called WMS Extreme Rules. Let's see here. Cody Rhodes versus Miz was pre-show. Miz wins. Yeah. Jericho versus Fan. Yes. Okay. All right. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut straight to the questions.
Yes.
Because we all watched Extreme Rules
Yes.
or read the recaps. We're covered. It's okay. I appreciate it. I appreciate that you're giving us a recap here, but we totes saw it. So we're all good on recaps. We do this show every single week. We watch stuff. We're covered for recaps, but I definitely appreciate it. I will, however,
We were doing none of this in a
throw out
Russian
some
accent,
highlights of the
I'm angry.
email. He says, fucking cockroach, which I support that pronunciation, cockroach. FYI, I miss CM Punk. So do we, buddy. So do we. And here's some questions. Favorite Extreme Rules pay-per-view moment ever? I have to say I enjoy Brock beating Triple H and blooding Cena.
What? Is that 2 moments?
Oh, yes, I guess.
Is it?
Yes.
It might be 2 of them. Yeah.
Those are his favorite Extreme Rules moments ever.
Okay. And I don't think one of those was at Extreme Rules. Are we taking the pay-per-view?
No, they
or-
both were.
They would. No. What?
Yes, they were. When Brock had his first match back.
Like it was
Against
John Cena, and then the Triple H one?
Yep. Because that happened 2 nights ago.
Oh, he's talking about this time. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
yes.
That's all
Is he
right.
talking about this time?
I guess so.
I think so.
You know, the problem is they had like Extreme Rules moments. So it's like, and a lot of it was like, I don't remember that being on Extreme Rules. Like they're moments, but I don't remember the pay-per-view as a thing. You know what I mean?
I remember the pay-per-views being good,
Yeah, they usually are because they replace Backlash. But still,
but I can't remember like really a lot from
but still,
them.
my
The
favorite
Shield.
moment has to be, and I think that's from this pay-per-view. Maybe I'm wrong. And it's from TLC. Now that I think about it. Yeah, cause now here's the problem. Because I remember the time that John Cena pulled down the hanging chairs all onto.
That was TLC.
That was TLC.
Yeah.
Well, it was
That was
Extreme.
TLC, because TLC has the hanging chairs in the set.
Okay.
Yes, but that was amazing nonetheless.
Yeah, it was still amazing. I don't. The time Batista
Oh,
got
shut
his
up,
feet
Wrestle
duct taped.
fan.
I don't know. What do you guys have any? Wrestle fan?
Wow. Karma doing her thing. She debuted at Extreme Rules.
Really?
In that match. Yeah. I think that was cool. That could have been cool.
Okay.
Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't.
What about you, Chach?
You know what? This is gonna be completely dumb, and you're all gonna laugh at me, and
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
All right.
My favorite moment at Extreme Rules ever happened this year, and it was the addition of the light indicators on the ring post for the strap match.
It's not the first time they've done that, though. I don't think.
No,
Doesn't matter. It's
They
pretty
haven't done it in
cool.
a
First
while.
time I've seen it.
So you
They haven't done it in a
completely
while. They did it for
understand
JBL and Eddie Guerrero.
how this complicated match works, right, Chach?
I knew how it worked before. I didn't realize that we needed fucking lights.
You know, Dusty Rhodes didn't need the lights. And Harley
Like,
Race and Great American Bash.
It was funny watching the match because, all right, so there was a spot where Sheamus was walking on the outside of the apron, touching all of the corners, and the lights were going off. And this is like the third time that one of them had hit a turnbuckle to light up the light, and something would happen, and Michael Cole would be like, all right, now that they've broken it up, the referee has waved off the lights, which means that each man will have to start over the entire match. I'm like, hey, Mike, you said that 45 seconds ago when Mark Henry hit the turnbuckle and then got punched in the face.
Which is weird, and this is my problem with this match in general. Was then didn't he win after losing momentum when he ran into Mark Henry?
Yes.
Really? It was weird. It was weird. It was an okay match for what it was.
Listen, I don't care if they've done the lights or not before.
This is irrelevant.
Yes.
This fact is irrelevant.
The fact that if they had done the lights before, they felt the need that people are too dumb to understand how the match works and they need to bring back the lights.
Did you catch how much they were explaining how the match worked the week before?
No.
Yep.
Like there was this.
They were like,
Raw,
this is how the match works. Hey, JBL, you were in a match like this. Tell us how it works.
yeah, they did the same thing with like a tornado match, tornado
so
tag match, which
dumb.
we had with the Shield,
Yeah.
and everything. So
They're so dumb and hilarious because it was so dumb.
what about you, LB?
My favorite Extreme Rules moment
Please say the lights.
happened at the very first Extreme Rules 2009.
Say the lights. It was the lights.
There was a match. Right about smack dab in the middle of the card. It was Santino Marella versus Vicky Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero in a handicap hog pen match.
What the hell?
And damned if Santino didn't pull it out. Not his penis.
I gotta correct you. It was not Santino. It was Santina Morella. Because it was for the Miss WrestleMania crown.
I was getting to that.
Wrestling hipster.
I was getting to that.
Okay, well,
you fucking cut me off.
I'm sorry.
Cut me off. Son of a bitch.
I'm sorry.
Son of a bitch.
You can
No,
disagree.
no.
I disown
No,
you.
that's all.
You're no longer our friend.
So what about you?
I like that they had a tornado tag
know.
match last night. That was cool. You don't see much of those anymore.
Yeah, ever.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all right.
The end.
What about you?
But wait, there's more.
What?
I got one.
Well, Bobby and Riz have something. Bobby?
Bobby and Riz.
I got one.
Okay.
Okay. Mine was from Extreme Rules 2011.
Oh no.
Do you remember when Edge had to retire
Yeah.
and they stripped him of the title, and Del Rio won the #1 contenders match and then they had a battle royal to determine who would face Del Rio, and Christian won, and Edge and Christian celebrated in the ring when Christian won and became the 11th Grand Slam champion in WWE history.
Nice.
I look back on that and I wish they would do something with Christian, bring him back to TV and just have him become awesome again. So that was one of my favorite moments from Extreme Rules.
They already
The
have someone
most-
that's awesome. You can't have two awesome people.
Oh yeah.
Most
You can't have two awesome people on a wrestling show.
What about you, Riz?
no.
No.
I want to keep it in the same year,
Okay.
and it happened after the pay-per-view.
Okay.
John Cena gets up on the table and says the most American thing anybody has ever said.
That did happen
History
after Extreme
of
Rules.
ever. The president
Yeah.
has just announced that we have caught and compromised to a permanent end
That's right.
Osama bin Laden.
That did happen after
I
the
forgot
And the
that.
pay-per-view.
whole
Right.
building just erupted.
Wow.
If there were ever a moment for a USA
matter.
chant at a wrestling event, that was it.
Yeah.
He could have like whipped out his dick afterwards. They would still be chanting USA.
They were, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Anything else there, LB?
There's more.
Hmm.
This next email is just called WMS Extreme. Oh, by the way, it was me. It's at Big PPC, fan of the fucking year. Take care, Mayhem crew.
All right.
Okay.
But wait, there's more.
Well, we will take care. What?
Do we get a wax now?
There's more. There is yet another email. Ready for this? Hey, It was me. It was me. It was at Big PPC. Raw was pretty decent. Curtis Axel, great stuff. New Paul Heyman guy and the Shield dominated things. Question: who would you like to see as another Paul Heyman guy? Ryback or Tyson Kidd or Cassius Ohno? Till next time, it's me, Big PPC. Shit happens, had to work a double and sent an email late. Where were other emailers? It is what it is, DJ Lunchbox. I tried, I get points for effort. Take care, Mayhem Crew, sent from FN.
There you go. So do we have to pick one of the three? Like, is that ever...
I don't know if it was phrasing it that way, but...
I think about anything would have been better than last night. I mean, the concept was there, but the squashing...
Yeah.
Didn't really sell me on
it wasn't the choice that was the bad part.
What's that, Riz?
Go ahead, Riz.
He won.
Okay. Yeah,
He
won.
lack of interest.
Yeah,
technically.
because he had kryptonite in his pants, and everybody knows that Triple H is allergic to kryptonite,
That's true.
and he just almost passed out.
You all know Matt Striker's the only one with kryptonite in his pants.
It's an hour.
The only thing he can't ass kick is kryptonite.
I kind of wish it was RVD at this point. Really, any of those guys.
Really?
At this point, yes.
RVD? Like, I used to be a big RVD fan, and I don't want RVD doing anything anymore.
I expected RVD, actually.
I think they have to bring in someone new.
I said Christian.
Yeah, this has to be like he
I
comes
said
back.
Christian.
I mean, does Paul Heyman really ride with this guy? Because I just can't see them coming back and trying to justify everything that happened the week before. You know what I mean? I guess they'll come out and say, hey, he beat Triple H and everything, but I just can't see them doing much with him. And I don't know. Maybe, I hope there's some like grand scheme I'm not seeing here. That's going to be amazing.
I can see if there was a face holding the a lower title.
Yeah.
I can see that him going after the United States Championship or the Intercontinental Championship, but he's doing nothing right now.
You know what would have been perfect? I was thinking.
We started.
I was perfect. No, I was thinking, why not have him go for the tag titles with another person? Maybe Ted DiBiase. Do something with him too.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of how Ted DiBiase came in. Remember?
Well, yeah.
He's like,
but I mean,
I'm
he's
this
not
new
doing
guy.
anything
I'm going
right
to go
now.
for these tag titles, and that's how Cody Rhodes got recruited.
There you go. Yeah,
But they're not really doing anything with them.
Like, I keep forgetting that McGillicuddy's a former tag team champ. I would love seeing like Cassius Ohno, or I don't think Heyman backing Ryback would have made much sense. Even Tyson Kidd being repackaged.
I think the point of the Heyman guy thing and Heyman's backing is that it's meant to elevate someone.
Well, yeah, it should
Brock
be.
Lesnar was someone that was nobody, and then Paul Heyman elevated him to a certain point. Punk, it kind of happened the same way with CM Punk.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Punk was a guy that
Paul Heyman being
Punk was a
with
guy
somebody
that he
taking the other
elevated
guy
in the background, and that's what came out of like that real story, you know. So I mean, now we're like, okay, we're going to make a new Heyman guy, and we just made the like bastardized NWO with Shawn Michaels in it in the long run.
It's the new version of the Bobby Heenan family.
Yeah,
That's what it is. It's just saying it's they're going to get random people together and link them all to one person.
Maybe just
that's what they're doing.
But it's also interesting though, because they've never had, even though they're Heyman guys and he comes out, they've never had a like Brock and Punk in the same room.
It'll fizzle in a month.
That's always been interesting.
I think it's too early to judge right now.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But I think, especially after last night, it didn't leave the best taste in my mouth, and I'm not extremely hopeful.
It didn't taste like.
It tasted like some bearing of some work rate.
Jeez. Wow. And one of you guys pointed out on the app later, actually I think it's Mad Mike pointed this out on the Facebook, that the complete burial of Curtis Axel, when he's like, who did I wrestle? McGillicuddy or something? when they were talking to Triple H and trying to make him come too. So.
Yeah, fuck you, Triple H.
Kind of a weird way to end that, I guess. Does he have a concussion? Is that the word?
Yeah.
Is that what they're doing after somebody actually got
was that the
a
word
real
for
concussion? What's that?
It's just like Riz said last night. It worked so well in TNA.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. That's our fan mail for this week.
We'll see where this goes.
We'll see. Hey, let's go right into it. WrestleFan, what's going on in Amateur Falling Down this week?
This week in indie wrestling, it's the Indie Minute for this week. I guess the first thing I can talk about is Sorgatron Media was not there, but RWA had an event this past week.
No, Sorgatron Media was there. It's just that these two members of Sorgatron Media weren't there. I mean, the B team was there. I did get word. A little bit of the clips. I got to edit it here in this next week. But the clips I got to see so far. One, much respect to Dr. Feelbad for putting up a collection for Zima Ion for the show, Shima Zion, for his stuff. And I think maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit here. Probably in a round.
Maybe later in the roundtable. Yeah.
But they'll support Zima Ion, so that was cool. The Ryan Edmonds situation there is with the crowd is getting pretty insane, to the point where I caught again while I was getting the tape sorted. At some point, apparently the entire crowd got so excited they came up and started pounding on the side of the ring. I thought there was a lumberjack going on. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And the text I got from JP that did go out there says that was the best show I've seen. I was like,
very cool.
Wow. So I cannot wait to get this DVD together and find out what the heck happened. Sounds like they had a lot of fun new guys there. So rwalive.com if you want to check out the latest. I think the results should be up there. And videos from the last show where there's a lot of fun fan interactions between these guys and the crowd. Very, very uncensored. Very uncensored. So last I knew, that's right on the front of their page. So go check that out, rwalive.com, and see what's going on. So
awesome.
What else is up, WrestleFan?
There is stuff going down in the world of Chikara, and it's crazy, guys.
Okay.
This past weekend was their Tag World Grand Prix, their return of that tournament that they've been holding. And it was a very awesome tournament from what I was told. Two shows in one day. The winners of the tournament were Jigsaw and the Shard, collectively known as Pieces of Hate. And they will be challenging for the Campeones de Parejas because of their win in that tournament. They will face 3.0 at their upcoming iPay-per-view for those titles. But the big thing was the Grand Championship match. Eddie Kingston taking on one Archibald Peck. Now, there's going to be a lot of interesting stuff going into this match concerning Archibald Peck, the aspects of time travel, and how Eddie Kingston's back fist of the future apparently sends Archibald Peck back in time and has apparently caused a time rift of sorts in Chikara.
What?
Which is very interesting. It's long and it's complicated. I don't want to get too much into it. It's very diverse, and it's very, you'd have to follow Chikara for a long time to sort of get the whole story, which is amazing. Chikara is amazing at storytelling. But basically, near the end of the matchup, it appears there were two Archibald Pecks. One that was on top of the stage in the arena in Chicago. Eventually, the lights went out, and both Archibald Pecks were gone. And the match was ruled a no contest. And Archibald Peck has actually been taken off of the roster page for Chikara, so I have no idea what is going on there. Interesting stuff. I would encourage people who do not know about the aspects of the time rift that's going on in Chikara, everything that is multifaceted with that. Go and research some old Chikara stuff from, I would say, probably about last year. It's pretty amazing how in-depth it is and how the story is developing. And it could really come to a head at their iPay-per-view, Never Compromise, their anniversario event. You can get it at snvod.com. A lot of big stuff. Eddie Kingston defends the Grand Championship against Icarus. Like I mentioned, 3.0 defend the Campeones against, Pieces of Hate, Jigsaw, and the Shard. And that should be an awesome, awesome event. So go to chikarapro.com to get your tickets for that event. And
you still have this?
Yeah, so the final thing I want to talk about is Anarchy Championship Wrestling had their event this past weekend for Prom. Nothing is as real as a dream. The main event, Evan Jalistico successfully defending the title against Jessica James for the World Heavyweight, their World Championship. The big thing was they have announced the first four names, for their Queen of Queens tournament. Current standouts, Angel Blue and Barbie Hayden will be in that tournament, as well as a returning Sue Young and a debuting Leva Bates. So if you want more information for that event, you can go to anarchychampionshipwrestling.com, go check them out, and go support the local Texas federations. And that, my friends, is the Indie Minute for this week.
Excellent. Thanks, WrestleFan, for that. A little quick look at the indie business. Hey, if there's anything indie that you think we're missing out that you should be checking out, please go hit that email up. GoodTimesAtWrestlingMayhemShow.com. Hit up. Let me take my blur fade off. That was weird. Drop us a line. Tell us how great some of these places are. At the hotline and everything like that, or on Twitter at Mayhem Show and all the other places. Because WrestleFan especially, I know you look into all kinds of different stuff. I know you've been getting into AIW that's up in Cleveland. I know you keep us informed on what's going on up there.
There's great stuff all over the U.S. So if you find something that's interesting and you want to have it talked about in the Indie Minute, definitely send it in.
For sure.
And we will mention it.
I mean, it's great that we have this here, that we do have, there's us keeping an ear out on the Pittsburgh and the greater Midwest here. Sometimes over in Philly and stuff for our area, and then him down in Texas. So we are getting two different perspectives. But I know even in the chat room, we got guys out in California. We got guys all over the place. I mean, I know there's people that listen from London. What wrestling's happening in England? So please let us know. It feels like, I know it definitely feels like we do have maybe 10 groups we talk about on here. But it is you never know. These could be, I remember us going to IWC and we saw people there now all over WWE, and TNA on TV every week. And that's really cool. You never know what's coming up next, right? So
yeah, definitely.
With that, we're going to go check out Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold. What's going on the app there. Check in what's coming up, released now from Sorgatron Media with the Road to Super Indie. The latest from the Montreal Theory, and we'll be back with Remember When.
Seriously, if Padoots wasn't running for this nomination, then I would have voted for Tattoo Guy. Hey, no, Padoots allows me to call him Padoots. No.
I don't think I want to take your candy.
Candy.
Your candy is very suspect.
You do not deny free candy. So
they had these really weird
candy.
I don't know. I think in this neighborhood, you don't take free candy.
This is
I'm
creeping
always
me
gonna
out,
call it
Sword.
that. I don't care how old it gets. I'm always gonna call it that.
Dick low bitch, yeah, smack 'em up sideways. Got a white collar, but I'm telling you the crime pays. Wanna listen, you better pay your attention. So get your ass to the front of the gun and I find you listen, I'm losing it. Get your ass whooped like a foolish kid. Turn the fuck around and I'ma show you how to do the shit.
Here at WrestleCon in Secaucus, New Jersey, pandemonium's going on all around us. Pandemonium went on in Montreal, Canada, November in 1997 when the screw job took place. There's been a lot of theories surrounding Montreal. I want to get some thoughts of some people at WrestleCon. Joining me right now is the Neon Ninja, the Aerosol Assassin, Facade. Say it in the mic.
My name is Facade.
I went through painstaking effort to not call you Michael.
Michael, the Bomber, Suburban Terrorist, Aerial Assassin, Aerosol Assassin, all that.
That is a soundbite for you. Now, you are someone that thinks outside of the box.
Aren't I ever?
You, to quote Paul London earlier when I talked to him, you're probably not even sure what the box looks like.
It's not a box, it's a cube. And you can't see it. It's just there. Don't get me and him and Kendrick all in the same room, because we'll talk some crazy co-conspirators. There's all kinds of craziness going on. The Illuminati, the Reptoids, the Reptilians.
So after that devilishly evil laughter, what do you feel is the truth about Montreal? What is your individual theory?
a job happened. I don't know if it's a screw job or another job, but whatever it is, it worked. It worked. But you know what? It's all about making money, right?
It is.
It made money. And you're making money now, too.
I hope. If you want me to make money or just want me to end this interview, you can go to MontrealTheory.com. Look us up on Facebook. Purchase the Montreal Theory. Find out, were there Reptoids in Montreal at that night? I don't really know. Facade seems to know more than me.
There's Reptoids in Stamford, Connecticut, too.
He's creeping while you're sleeping. At some point, he'll probably be looting while we're shooting. So this is Facade. This is WrestleCon. MontrealTheory.com.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Time for a little segment we like to call Remember When? So guys, okay. I was gonna say you skipped Chachi. So guys,
I couldn't see him over there.
if you follow me on Twitter at the WrestleFan, you'll see as the past recent days that I've been spending some time watching some old Attitude Era Raws and SmackDowns. This is from circa like early 2000, and I gotta say it's been some interesting stuff. And I dove upon the episode with one of the most awkward angles, quite frankly, in all of pro wrestling history, and that was Mae Young giving birth to a hand.
Mm-hmm.
The entire episode and all the lead up to it and all that stuff. Now let me say this, guys. I know everyone talks about that moment and how it's so gross and funny. Old lady gave birth to a hand. That wasn't the worst part of it. That whole angle was fucked up from the beginning. And I'm not talking, Mark Henry impregnated a old person. You know, because get it, old people that are pregnant are funny. But, and by the way, Mark Henry and Mae Young, amazing chemistry. Very underrated. But all the things that they let Mae Young do and had no regard, that was what made that angle horrible. She gets angle slammed by Kurt Angle at one point while pregnant. And yeah, they sort of dwell on it, but they also move on to the next segment like immediately. She's drinking and smoking with the APA at one point without a care in the world. No one's really like saying, hey, probably shouldn't do that. She gets splashed at one point by Viscera and then comes back the next week and is fine, and she gets shoved by the Hollies and it's fine. But the actual angle starts when Mark Henry is facing Crash Holly for the Hardcore title. And Mae Young gets in the ring and goes, I want to splash Crash Holly. And Mark Henry's like, okay. Like, he doesn't think, my old pregnant wife is about to run and splash this dude. No problem. In a world where Mae Young splashing Crash Holly causes her to lose her baby. But Viscera, who they bill as weighing as 500 pounds, splashes her, and she's fine. She's okay, guys. I don't even know. And it was horrible because like they tried to stretch her out and they were rolling her onto the stretcher, and JR had to be like, no, don't roll her. What are you doing, you idiots? And it was so bad, and there were so many puns, and everyone should be ashamed for themselves. So I want to know, guys, what is the most awful angle that you remember? Sorg?
You know, I maybe not so like awkward as just bad and cheesy. Can I go that way?
Sure, why not?
Because I mean, awkward that I had to believe in this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember particularly a time, I believe it was Sting and Abyss were feuding, and they had. I think it amounted to, and this is my recollection, this thing amounted to basically a casket match, right?
It was called a last rites match.
Oh, but it was basically a casket match.
Oh my god, I remember that.
But the casket was lowered down and onto the ring. And then to the point where they got the motif going that they had these really cheesy candelabra plastic electric things going on the corners. Mm-hmm. Like and again, knowing that they're filming this or the pay-per-view at Universal Studios, you feel like they stole these from the Monster ride set or something. Yeah. I just could not really.
I love how TNA had that era where they tried to imitate and tried to play off like Japanese death matches, where they had like electrified light tubes, like the candelabra thing.
Oh no! Wait, the worst was the electrified cage.
And the electrified cage, which has been done before, but you can't do it in TNA in like a pay-per-view in the United States without looking fucking cheesy.
Yeah,
because they just dimmed the lights.
I think
they did the lights and they made shocking noises come over the PA.
Which really, is that any worse than the Mountie with this shock stick in the long run?
Yeah, but there's an illusion.
Yeah, it's worse. It's worse. It's more poorly executed.
What about you, LB?
Well, I can think of a few, actually. One that was just uncomfortable to watch was the Lita pregnancy angle, but that was just because Snitsky is in his face. The other one that was mildly uncomfortable to watch was Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero for custody of one of their children.
Yeah, but it was a good match.
I love that angle. It wasn't really a good match.
They were okay matches. We remember them through rose-tinted glasses because when you think back to Eddie Guerrero, you think everything he did was great.
The ladder match was good. Because I remember just like, wow, that was actually
I remember
a good match.
it being not so good.
I think
genuinely.
I was gonna say, I think it's on the ladder matches DVD. Actually,
it is.
I think you might be right. Anyway, genuinely uncomfortable. However, was the old ECW angle between Raven and the Sandman, where they brought his wife and his kid into it. Yeah. That was genuinely some uncomfortable shit right there.
I think the most uncomfortable part about that wasn't even like the whole like son converting thing. The fact that like they made it like Sandman's wife was like a crack whore and was like still had like a son.
Yeah.
And the son was sort of being influenced by that. Like that was the fucked up part.
Yeah, there was a lot of like just moments in that where you just like cringe and you're like, oh god, I just want this to stop now, please. So that's mine. Chachi?
I can't. Honestly, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I do know they exist, but I try to push them out.
I've heard they've existed.
I try to push them out.
Like, when's the last time you were just like, really?
Honestly?
Yeah.
The beginning of the We the People movement.
Yeah. That's genuinely awkward.
Yeah, I mean, when that whole thing, when they were just like, go, and brought it to Raw, yeah, that was completely uncomfortable.
You know, you're right.
That whole
I get
situation
the same feeling with that one
is still completely uncomfortable.
But it works.
It's always going to work.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make it right.
No.
Just like the real thing. It doesn't make it right. I mean, people are listening, though, and we're talking about it, so they're doing
racism sells, bro.
What?
Racism sells, bro.
It always does. But, yeah, it's just super uncomfortable.
Awesome. All right, with that, let's remember when. Thank you, guys. And let us know your remember whens. Again, whoa.
Wow.
Whoops.
Oh no!
Mixer, no.
Hey,
I think we might have had a power flash here, so this is exciting. So before anything else goes wrong, let's save this part of the episode and go to Mad Mike's Minute of Mayhem.
Greetings, Mayhemers. It's Mad Mike once again with your Minute of Mayhem. Okay, so remember last week I said TNA was really good because they brought back Abyss? Guess what? Abyss wasn't on last week's show. TNA needs to get their head together. When you end a show with a really satisfying conclusion like Abyss coming back, you should probably follow up on that. Granted, I love Joseph Park, but you can have both characters on the show. You can. Or you can just continue with Abyss for a week and have Joseph Park sell the injuries that Devon gave him. Anyway, so it would have made a lot more sense for Abyss to want revenge against Bully Ray, since Bully Ray is the one who took him out. Would have made sense for Sting to recognize this because Abyss saved his bacon last week, and for Sting to give up his TNA title shot. But no. We get a bullshit stipulation that if Sting doesn't win, he can never challenge for a title again. Which means he's going to win. Most likely. That sucks. Anyway, on to Raw. Alright, I'll do the 3 stars of the week before I talk about Triple H and his Shovel of Doom. 3rd star is for Paul Heyman for making me care about Michael McGillicuddy. At least a little bit. 2nd star is for Jim Johnson for making that awesome remix of Mr. Perfect's theme song. Again, making me care about Michael McGillicuddy a little bit more. 1st star, everyone involved in the 6-man. 6-man tag team match was awesome. It was long, gave everyone a good moment, it had the right ending, and it was really well done, especially the Shield taunting Bryan the whole time, calling him the weak link. Now on to Triple H. You know the reason Brock Lesnar worked when he immediately debuted? Because right after he debuted, he destroyed both Hardy Boys. Decimated them. He powerbombed Jeff Hardy, I think, about 4 or 5 times. That's why Brock Lesnar worked. CM Punk, when he first debuted in ECW, he went on a little bit of a roll. He was undefeated for a while. That's why that worked. Curtis Axel. A, stupid name. Got a better one behind me. 2, what did he do? He showed up, he got slapped by Triple H, and Triple H dominated their whole match. Now I know the dirt sheets are saying that Triple H is high on him, but didn't look like it. Anyway, we'll see what happens next week. Even if Heyman has Curtis Axel take credit for taking out Triple H, it's not going to mean anything. Remember when Sheamus did that? And Triple H came out within 2 minutes and destroyed him with a freaking sledgehammer? Yeah. Alright, well, let's spin the minute. Peace, bitches.
Time, okay.
They actually put an article up on WWE of 13 Paul Heyman guys.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Hey guys,
I saw that, yeah. Sorry.
Thanks, Mad Mike, for that minute of mayhem, and some interesting thoughts there. Before we get to them, let's go to the unwashed masses, WrestleFan.
Yes. Comments from the Unlost Masters for this week. These are comments sent in by one Bobby F. J. Town from the Facebook page from WWE.
Just to remind you what the general wrestling fan is typically talking about on the internet.
Oh, boy. Isn't that Mr. Perfect's son? Michael. His father was never a Hetman guy. Hetmans coulda screw with his mind real good, comma. Oh, yeah.
All right, no, that's cool.
Commas. The second one. What a stupid question. It's clearly that he is none other than Michael McGillicuddy.
What the fuck?
He is none other. And the final one, which is actually a good point if it wasn't spelled horribly. How many times WWE makes wrestlers fight with same persons? ? Please change the opponents, otherwise it would rather result in losing the interest. ...
So obviously this person's sick of seeing Randy Orton take out Cesaro.
Hmm?
Right?
I'm kind of sick of it too.
Yeah. So it sounds like that's a hey. So the unwashed masses are noticing. So maybe somebody should do something about that.
maybe we'll all do something.
So going to the thoughts. Okay, we already touched a little bit on Kurt Axel.
Yeah, fuck you, Triple H. No, seriously, Kurt Axel could be something, but fuck Triple H.
At least, I think it's the thing they need to do for him. At least the name change, a little bit of a redress, a little bit, but let him. I mean, Mr. Perfect came in and he was perfect, right? He didn't get squashed for a while and then come up, Bros Clay came in and started destroying people. And now he's destroying people and dancing, You don't do anything for these guys by just slamming them. I mean, great, he got a match with Triple H, but, really, in the long run, what are you going to do with this thing?
Yeah. Even when people were saying, "Oh, well, he beat Triple H," and yeah, they may play on that, and Paul Heyman may be like, "He beat Triple H."
It's a start,
but Triple H had his old, "Oh, I have amnesia or concussion or whatever" effect, and they didn't show Kurt the rest of the night.
Yeah. Well,
it was all about Triple H. The focus was entirely on him.
Yeah.
Well, of course. He's this. I'm going to call him McGillicuddy because I've already forgotten his new name. He's a relatively new face, and this is his new being a face again thing. The focus is going to. I'm sorry, heel. The focus is going to be on Triple H, and him getting this screwy win over Triple H is going to let them build a longer program. Triple H will come back, and they'll go back and forth.
And he doesn't even have to go back and fight with Triple H. I think.
See, that's the thing. But I don't think they're building a program with those two. My big worry was that them bringing in Michael McGillicuddy back in was a means to get to Triple H versus Paul Heyman, or a means to get to another Triple H Brock Lesnar match.
Now, let's go to another topic here. Now, he brought up TNA, and interesting that Abyss is back. I haven't watched TNA since I saw it live here in town.
I didn't watch this week's.
I'm more put off again by the background stuff. A friend of the show we mentioned earlier, Zima Ion. There was a incident where he actually they took him to the hospital. He was, I guess, vomiting several times and ended up having appendectomy. And of course, they found a tumor. So he's going to have that taken out of what do they call it, a biopsy? Is that right?
I think so.
And we don't know if it's cancerous or anything yet. So, but in the meantime, this is the scary thing. He doesn't have insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where the breakdown happens for me. That a guy like this, who's on TV, from week to week, more or less, right?
He's been there for a good amount of time, and he has been there for a good amount of time.
He has been there for a good amount of time, and you just think, like, why is, maybe it's a choice thing where he's not doing insurance. Some people do that, but I guess this is apparently his girlfriend set up this page on GiveForward.com where you can donate and help him out. They're trying to raise $30,000, I guess, to help out with the bills. I guess that's probably the estimate or whatever. He looks so happy there, though, in the when this loads here, in the hospital bed. So that was a great, flattering picture of him. And they're not doing bad. I mean, they're only a few days in. They already have 5,000 of the 30,000. It's been getting around to all the wrestling sites and everything. I kicked a few bucks in there, and maybe I'll kick some more. But I mean, he's a friend of the show, real good guy from here locally. So, guys, go toss a couple bucks in. Toss a buck in. Anything
Absolutely.
helps. Especially for something like this. And I hate that we see this so much. How many times have we had to have things to help Sabu with his medical bills? Who else came up recently that they were having a benefit to help him with his medical bills? It was somebody else that was like, Umaga was another, or not Umaga. Kamala was another one.
Come on,
where they had a benefit for him because he actually had to have part of his leg removed.
Yeah. And it's even sadder. And obviously, we are know Shima, and we know what he's been through. But even if you don't know Shima, even if you don't donate to this cause, you have to admit that it is a very sad thing that somebody that is wrestling on television every week, somebody that is on the number 2 company in the country, whatever you want to think about them, they are the number 2, and they can't cover this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, just thinking about and Grant, it's a very unforgiving sport, and it's not like it's It's not like he got injured in the ring and they're not taking care of him. But still, it just seems like there should be a little bit more done.
Yeah. Well, even if it's not done on their behalf, but the fact that the pay is to a point where he couldn't afford this, like it's really sad.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and this goes to the other thing. I mean, like I said, they had a good conversation with Daphne at WrestleCon talking about that whole situation. I mean, she got hurt on the job and gave us like a really good moment out of it, right? Like, didn't she get hit in the head with a toaster or something? Like, was something crazy like that?
Toolbox, yeah.
It was a toolbox. That's right. And I told her, like, that really stinks because I mean, that was a moment. We all remember it, and that you got hurt from it, and nobody stuck up for you. That just seems really shitty, and it's we want there to be a number 2 company. We kind of want to support TNA in the long run, right? Mm-hmm. We want there to be competition, but when they do things like this and show us that in some cases this company is worse than the lowest indie company, there
needs to be a new number 2.
There needs to be, but is there going to be a number 2 or number 3 that's actually going to take care of their people and be a respectable company? You can say whether WWE is respectful or not, all up and down. But look how much money they put in for rehabs for people that haven't worked there for 20 years. I don't think when people get hurt, injured, they send them their papers and that's it. I'm pretty sure they take care of them pretty good.
Exactly.
Or at least they're getting paid enough that they can handle this. The jobbers get probably around 6 figures, right? Or high 5s at least, right?
They built a rehabilitation center in Florida.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, they're in the process of building, but still, exactly. They're creating like this Club Med for the wrestlers or something, right? I mean, it's a rehab and it's training, right? That's tremendous. That they all have this place that they can go to that's very like an in-house doctor, Half of them live in Florida anyway, so that works out too, I think.
Hey, while you're rehabbing, why don't you go train these new guys?
Yeah, exactly.
It works twofold.
Well, yeah, that works out. There's more exposure for the new guys. Run into Randy Orton when he's injured again, and
from pounding the mat,
or from pounding the mat.
What can Randy Orton teach a young NXT wrestler other than let me pin you?
Okay, if you want to poop in the gym bag, you got to be very sneaky. Make sure nobody's watching. Undertaker's really good for covering it for this one.
If you have a finisher, hit it out of the same place every time, but say that it's out of nowhere.
Never poop in Caitlin's gym bag, because then she won't stop calling you. It's not for what you think.
Do it during the main event, because everyone's gathered around the monitors watching.
Or an early Ryback match. Yeah,
they could give Rey Mysterio a permanent room.
Just hang out here. It's like it's like the Oompa Loompa.
We know you're gonna be here anyway. Just go to your fucking room. We'll send the nurse up with your Jello.
go to your fucking room.
Wait, hold on, Ray. Wait, you're going to the bathroom? All right, hold on. Let me book the flight. Hey, Ray's walking. Call the airport. Send him to Florida.
Amazing.
So yeah, what else did he touch on there? So we got
Extreme Rules happened.
Extreme Rules happened. We talked a little bit about that. I thought it was an alright show. It definitely turned out a lot better than I expected it to be. So John Cena's dead.
Mm-hmm.
That happened.
That's cool.
Yeah, that'll happen.
The only thing I don't like about that entire situation is that they made it so that Ryback kept his status.
That's how they do it.
Just because you want Ryback to lose his status.
I do. Like, WWE did it right. All right?
Mm-hmm.
John Cena couldn't drop the belt, and he couldn't beat Ryback in a last man standing match. Okay, these are truths that needed to be faced.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they did the right thing, but
Is he going to beat him in an ambulance match?
Yeah, I don't think you can fake that one out. But nobody gets pinned. I mean, that's the other great thing. Nobody gets pinned, right?
I mean, all you have to do is get the guy in the ambulance. I mean, Ryback's hungry. Throw a Big Mac in that bitch. He'll crawl in there. If you call McDonald's, they'll get 30 McRibs and put them in that ambulance. I bet you Ryback crawls his ass in as soon as the bell rings.
Chachi,
Yeah.
I wanna have a serious discussion with you since you haven't been on the show in a long time.
All right.
So honestly, the Ryback stuff now, what do you think of it? Besides it sucks or it's good, just why? Why do you think, and what is your thoughts?
The whole heel thing is a lot better than the whole super popular face out of nowhere thing.
Okay. So you're kind of digging this.
Well, I mean, it's...
In comparison. Comparatively.
It's the shinier of two turds.
Oh.
So, while it's better than this whole feed me more, I'm super popular because I'm a roid head, it's still a pile of shit.
Yeah, okay. I noticed it was not the top of the card the other night.
Right. and granted, okay, first off, yeah, that's fine. It's not the top of the card. I understand.
We need a match between two ass kickers.
Yeah, why did Brock and Trips have to be the main event?
Because they're the best, dude.
Because they're the lesser of the three main matches at WrestleMania. So we had to add a cage.
They're the shiniest of three turds. Congratulations! You, sir, are the shiniest turd. Get in the ring. You're main eventing.
There you go.
No, and I didn't watch Raw last night. I fell asleep.
I was like in a waking sleep as I watched it.
Did they let Shield keep all three belts?
They kept all three belts, yes.
Okay.
And they had a
bomb ass match.
Yes,
Okay,
they did. Yes, they did. What do we think about that? Shield. I mean,
fucking amazing.
The internet's on fire on this one, right?
It's not. Hold on. It's not the internet. They are being booked super, super competently, and I love it. They're being booked as strong guys that are actual threats. They're winning matches not by cheating. Like, it's perfect.
They're
doing everything right with a Shield.
They're a threat. They're what something like an NWO or an Aces of Eights should be.
It's the faction that we've been missing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an actual faction. It's not a Dolph, AJ, Big E.
And the cool part is, it's not somebody being latched onto them like a Paul Heyman or something to bring these guys up.
Right.
They, by themselves, are bringing each other up as a unit. Now, I think you're starting to see who the breakout's going to be with this. Obviously, they put... Or maybe this is just because the two of them kind of look the same.
I think that's what it is.
It's more like that.
I think out of the three of them, you give Dean the singles title because he's the leader of it.
Yeah.
And then you give the other two, whose names I don't remember, and I don't plan
Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
I called him Tyler Black the other day.
I don't plan on remembering their names.
They're the Shield. That's all you need to know, right?
You give the two minor guys the tag team titles because clearly in factions you have to have a leader.
Yeah.
And you're not going to give the leader a tag title that you don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
So instead, you give them the United States Championship that you don't care about.
And think about that. They beat collectively, two world champions in the tag team match.
Right.
In the long run, they beat Kofi, who's had those belts, how many times? He's a long-standing guy. I mean, he's nothing to sneeze at, and a pretty decent match, in both cases, I think.
You know what? Dean Ambrose impressed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I didn't think he could have the match with Kofi Kingston that he had at Extreme Rules.
Yeah, and as much as, I'm the indie guy, I was never really sold on Jon Moxley. Yes, slave name. But he's...
Go ahead and finish Go ahead and finish this, but we're going to come back to this.
Yeah, but he's improved so much. He's not just that indie darling anymore. I think he's very well rounded, and I agree with you that I think Dean Ambrose is obviously the leader of the group, and it's definite that he is. But Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns of all people are freaking holding their own.
Well, I didn't say that. I'm just saying.
No,
that
I know, but I'm just pointing that out.
Before I bring up my pet peeve of the week, I have a minor pet peeve. Can someone tell me why the big guy needs help picking up someone for a power bomb? Can someone explain that to me?
No, I think the whole point is that all of them are pushing down, and that's the bigger force. And that's why it's a super power bomb. Listen, wrestling moves don't have to make physical sense, okay? The fact that three people are doing them, their Captain Planet powers are combining for an uber power bomb in the long run.
Okay. Here's my huge pet peeve of the week. First off, it's extremely offensive. Okay? And secondly, it's dumb if you break it down and think about it. But we need to stop referring to people's WWE names as their slave names.
Why?
Take that. You take that off Lunchbox. Lunchbox came up with it.
First off, it's extremely offensive. Okay.
What? Why am I defending this? This is Lunchbox defense.
Secondly, these people all willingly made a choice to sign very lucrative contracts to wrestle for the top of their career.
Okay. All right, what about TNA? Can we call those slave names? That's more accurate.
That's true.
Well, most of the time in TNA, they're using their own names, which, by the way, is an option in WWE if they want to do it.
Okay, what is it there? Let's see my eye on. I don't think he's even real big on that name.
If they do change their names, it's because the company wants to own it.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's fine. I understand that. But that's still a choice they made willingly when they signed a very lucrative contract with the company that's at the top of their career.
I don't know. When the Dudley Boys went over, were they like just kind of, we're not going anywhere else. You're all that's left.
Right.
Is that what happened?
Either that or they had a really good agent.
Or bad agent at that point.
Sure.
Because they didn't get to keep Dudley Boys.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They had to do Team 3D. Remember that bullshit?
Well, there's some that did get to keep their names.
Yeah. It depends. It definitely depends. So,
but I think in the case when when your intellectual property is owned by a company that gets bought out by a company, and such as ECW getting bought out by WWE.
Yeah, and I think that was part of it too with a lot of those guys.
So I think when that happens, they're just like, oh no, we own that name.
Yeah.
That's a trophy for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, ultimately, we need to stop referring to it as a slave name because it's dumb on so many levels.
Lunchbox, do you want to respond to that? I know you're the proponent of the slave name.
I could make an argument about how the wrestlers in WWE are mistreated. I could make it.
Oh, we got to pause. Uh-oh. Oh, no, he's having a stroke.
No, he can't make that argument.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, he's not having that argument.
He's not allowed to make that argument.
The internet says no.
The internet says you go with that idea.
If you want to get back to that, can we talk about one thing that's sort of interrelated to that?
Hold on, let me respond to the comment that he can't finish. Horribly mistreated my ass.
Yeah.
Okay. As Sorg said, at least 5 digits, and I'm pretty sure accommodations are set up for them.
I don't think at least. No. Actually, they do their own booking, I believe. The only weekend where their booking is not covered is covered is WrestleMania.
No.
That's when they buy everybody hotels and everything.
They get upper 5 digits.
Yep, there he goes.
So
Maybe he lost power. I don't know.
Horribly mistreated my ass.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
yeah, can we talk about something that's sort of interrelated to that whole owning someone's name sort of thing?
Okay.
Because there were a couple releases this weekend. Some developmental names. Briley Pierce, who is the brother of Dolph Ziggler. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. Audrey Marie, which, okay, that's cool, whatever. Sakamoto, sorry you're not getting shoved by Tensai anymore. We don't need you. But the big one.
Speaking of horribly mistreated.
Yeah. But the big one, WWE no longer employs one Derek Bateman.
Derek Bateman? Mr. Tout? The Tout man
USA
himself?
guy.
Huh?
Am I the only one that knows about USA guy?
I don't know about USA guy.
Oh my god.
What's up with the USA guy?
USA guy was a gimmick that he was trying to push as a thing, and like, it's just sad because the whole idea of the whole creative has nothing for you thing, it's bad because creative has nothing for the people that are actually creative. Mm-hmm. That's the problem in it all. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like Derek Bateman wasn't pitching ideas to these people.
Yeah. What do you think, LB?
I was gone. I completely just reconnected.
That's because even Google Hangout said that your argument is invalid. It said peace.
Fair enough. We'll stop calling them slave names. Chachi wins.
So what are your thoughts on Derek Bateman?
I don't know who the fuck Derek Bateman is. That's
because
my thoughts on Derek Bateman.
Wow.
I'm a horrible person because I don't follow unpopular wrestling. I desperately apologize, WrestleFan, because I don't know or give a fuck who Derek Bateman is.
Ugh.
Wow.
Wow.
If you want me to know who Derek Bateman is, lobby to get him on Monday Night Raw. I watch Monday Night Raw. That is what I have time to watch in my life.
You know, in my world, and in the perfect world of professional wrestling,
you're in fucking college. You got nothing but time. You got nothing but time. You got time and money to go to indie shows and watch all the wrestling you want. I watched shitloads of wrestling when I was in college. Just fuckloads. That's when I started going to indie shows. I can't do it anymore.
NXT is not an indie show. I don't care what anyone says.
What's NXT?
Wow.
You are all
anger.
horrible people.
So much anger. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. I want to know what you guys learned from wrestling this week, because I know I just learned a lot. What about WrestleFan? What did you learn? You had some experiences.
Holy fuck, I don't even know.
After all of that,
we broke him.
I learned that WWE can be really fucking stupid sometimes as far as who they decide not to employ. Because JTG still has a job, and so does Kurt Hawkins, and fucking Ted DiBiase. Baffling. It's fucking baffling.
All right. I'm a Papa Lunchbox. What did you learn from the only wrestling you watched, Monday Night Raw?
That the only wrestling I watch hasn't been interesting enough to keep my attention till the main event for months.
Really? Well, it's the 3 hours.
If I stay till the end of Raw, it's because Hangout. It's because I'm hanging out with people in Hangout, and that's entertaining.
Yeah, that's what they should be doing. But instead of that app.
Yeah, fuck that app.
They do have WWE Hangouts on Thursdays. I'm always doing something when they pop up. I always get invited on Google Plus. So Riz learned that voting sucks, and the reason why is because Randy Orton is a stupid pirate hooker.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby F. J-Town learned that Matt Striker may or may not be helping to get Curtis Axel over. Did you watch the backstage Fallout video? I have not yet. But we'll take a look at that. So how about you, Chachi? What did you learn?
I learned two things.
Okay.
One, Paul Heyman guy is defined as someone that Paul Heyman thinks he's responsible for discovering.
Hold on, I got a sleepy robot over here. That's interesting. Okay, and
two, that WrestleFan wants us to care about some wrestler who was trying to push a gimmick that was called Mr. USA in a time where a Mr. USA gimmick wouldn't work because he would automatically have to fight Jack Swagger, and that would be terrible.
One, it is USA Guy, not Mr. USA. And two, him versus Jack Swagger would be fucking amazing. Fuck you.
No, it wouldn't, because Jack Swagger is the American already fighting the Mexican. You would have two Americans fighting each other because one's a Democrat and one's a batshit crazy Tea Party member.
So what? Jack Swagger was feuding with Dolph Ziggler, sorta. Just because he's not from another country.
I was just hoping that at some point they would just pull out that Dolph Ziggler was from, I don't know, Hawaii or something.
I thought they were going to pull out the fact that he was in a interracial relationship.
Face it.
What?
Just face it.
AJ's something.
She's something not white.
Wow.
I'm sure.
Just face it.
There's Biggie Langston.
You're pissed off because WWE released yet another just a normal wrestler. with nothing special.
Shit! I will fight you, Chachi. I swear to God.
I will
you
back
call
up
Derek
Russell
Bateman
fan.
a normal wrestler. Fuck that.
Chachi,
No.
Chachi, listen, guys, listen. Let's calm it down a second. The reason WrestleFan is so behind Derek Bateman. Remember back in the day when we started going to these indie shows and we seeing these guys and we're like, man, that guy, I wish he was doing something for WWE. And now we got CM Punk and we have Daniel Bryan, we have Cesaro, and we're like, I remember that guy. Like, that's what WrestleFan has with this Derek Bateman. But
Hey, Sorg.
What?
Guess what? Guess what? I never watched the deviant Michael Hutter on the Indies. I never saw one of his matches.
No. But I'm just saying NXT.
WrestleFan, you got to relax. He's on your side.
NXT
Sorg is on your side here.
NXT is kind of the same situation though.
I
like he's halfway there because he's signed, but he's still not going anywhere. But he was doing amazing things on NXT that were very entertaining with him and the now Fandango and Caitlyn. It was
and him and Daniel Bryan. Watch that shit. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was good stuff. It was fun stuff. It's like the best kept secret because nobody watched it.
I have a rebuttal.
Your rebuttal?
If he's such a great indie wrestler, there's a place for that.
I never said he was a great indie wrestler.
Well, apparently there's something about the guy that you want to put his dick in your mouth.
It wasn't about the wrestling. It was about the segments. It was about like the fun stuff he did. Like the reason we started liking Zack Ryder because he did something interesting. And don't forget and I know that you say fuck Zack Ryder and stuff, but I mean, yes, you have your hand up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man with the hat.
Can you please kindly remind me what WWE stands for?
World Wrestling Entertainment.
Mm-hmm. And what was it before that?
World Wrestling Federation.
Okay. Now, I want you to do me a favor.
Well, yeah.
All right. Say the first one again.
World Wrestling Entertainment.
And say the second one again.
World Wrestling Federation.
What two words do those things have in common?
World Wrestling.
Boom. There you go.
Because Derek Bateman never wrestled, and Derek Bateman wasn't a good wrestler.
You're not saying that. You're saying they should keep him based on his fucking segment.
Sorg is saying that, not me. Don't put words in my mouth.
I'm saying that. I think that's why Daniel Bryan's still around. He's great in the ring, but he's entertaining in the backstage.
Exactly.
He's entertaining.
Yes,
that's the point. You can be a good wrestler.
You should write an article for the Mayhem Show website.
I don't know. I don't agree with it.
And yet, how is he still more popular than R-Truth?
And once again,
The Riz is the answer.
What part of JTG is wrestling or entertainment?
I just got a trading card of JTG, and I don't know how I feel about it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. I hope you've had fun here. I hope you had something to say.
I've got one last thing to say.
And this is your last bit before departing to the woods that you may not even come back the same man or know what wrestling or may actually know what Derek Bateman is.
Maybe you'll know what NXT is after this.
No, because I won't be around the television. Listen, WrestleFan, I'm sorry for getting upset. I'm very tired. I'm having network issues, and I need to go on vacation. I'm sorry for shouting. I'm sure Derek Bateman is a very talented wrestler, and if you send me some DVDs or even just write an article about him, I promise I'll read it.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Guys, Wrestling Mayhem Show. Go check us out, WrestlingMayhemShow.com, iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Blip TV, Roku, and YouTube. Good times.
Good time.
At WrestlingMayhemShow.com, 402-206-WMS0. And, of course, please buy the Act WMS Gold, where we talked about Pittsburgh politics a bit. So if you want to see what that was about, iOS and Amazon App Stores.
Politics,
yes.
Here's a fun fact for you. There has not been a Republican mayor in the city of Pittsburgh since the Great Depression.
Well, there you go.
That's your fun fact.
There you go. Chachi.
Yeah.
And Chachi says he's still doing the Chachi 20.
Yeah.
Go win fabulous prizes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Somebody not won for a while? Is that what's happening?
No, I just haven't been giving away stuff.
Oh, okay. All right.
I went back to the roots. Because I can't afford to keep giving away prizes that I have to ship out and pay for all the time.
You can give my digital prizes. So
it's a niche market.
It's a niche market. At Sorgatron is me. Go talk with me. Join us. Hey, I'll be out Thursday night at Latitude 40 here in Robinson, helping film the Chair Shot Reality with WrestleZone.com, including Mr. Mark Madden with his sweet WCW worn Hawaiian shirts. DJ Lunchbox, he's going to the woods, so don't even try tweeting him in the next week and a half.
I'm sending him all the tweets.
I'm at ThoughtfulRiot.com, and I'm at DJ Lunchbox on Twitter, and if you need me in the next week, don't.
Man, you're going to have so many awesome ats while you're gone.
I am setting a daily reminder to send you something ridiculous now. When are you coming back?
I think me too, yeah.
I'll be back on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. I'm setting a daily reminder to send you a ridiculous fucking tweet.
I thought you were leaving for like 10 days.
Every day.
What, Chris?
I thought you were leaving for like 10 days.
No, that guy in the article that we talked about did it for 10 days. I can only get a couple days off of work, so...
So you're doing like 4 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. WrestleFan, he's in Texas somewhere. I don't know.
I'm in Texas. Go follow me at the WrestleFan, and also if you want to hear my thoughts in type form, go to WrestleFanRights.blogspot.com.
I want to hear your written words.
Yes.
Go there. That's it. Wrestling Mayhem Show. See you next week. We're out.